Good morning. It's 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I'm here in Ohio. Welcome to Creative Companions. I'm Kim, your creative guide for today. Yeah, let's take some deep breaths together and get settled in. In case you're new here, Creative Companions is a group I've been facilitating for a long time where we're all believing mirrors for one another. We believe in one another's creative flow and expression and expansion. We do things together to help us grow. Right now we're utilizing Julia Cameron's book, The Artist Way, and we're on chapter 10. We're going to be talking today about recovering a sense of self-protection. This is a huge one, something to talk about. I wrote a few things down. Let me know you're here in the comments. I like knowing who's here with me. We're going to do an acrylic painting today. I'm misguided and have no idea what we're going to do, but I brought a piece of cardboard. I'd like you to grab one too. We paint on cardboard because there's always cardboard laying around in our world. You can always find a piece of cardboard. If you don't have markers, you can use, or if you don't have paint, you can use markers. Use what you have. That's part of the point in Creative Companions, that we don't try to wait till everything is perfect, because that's not possible, to do the thing. So we go from where we are and we grab what we got. So let's get a piece of cardboard today and acrylic paint and all the things that you will need to make an acrylic painting. Your water, your brushes, a palette, paper towels, or a smock. I'm going to get my settings right here so I can see if anybody's... Hey Sam, I'm glad you're here. So yeah, I wonder if y'all been working with your journaling in the mornings. 3 pages of brain drain we call morning pages. That's one of our basic tools. I'm going to read you some from my journals today during meditation. So while I'm asking you to get comfortable where you are and take some deep breaths in through your nose, hold it, out through your mouth, relaxing into the now. Do it again. One more time. Just landing here in this now. Thank you for being here. I'm glad you're here with me. Warm and comfortable, safe where we are in this space. I realize the lighting's weird today and you can't see my face good. I can't see my face good. I look blurry to me, and that's okay with me, because again, I wanted to start with a quote from Florence and the Machine from the song Free. It says, "How do we stand aware of all this suffering and death and still keep on singing?" Well, why is it important that we keep on singing? Why is it important that we keep on showing up and singing our song and shining our light? The birds do every morning. I've been making sure that that's a self-care practice. First thoughts in the morning are about self-care and what can I do to feel good in this moment, and then the next moment, and the next moment. I had something there I thought I was going to read, but I'm not. So continuing to breathe. I need to find my other notebook. There it is. We've been writing morning pages and coming up against it with ourselves. How we feel matters most. Okay, so here's something I will read to you while we meditate. And you can close your eyes if you want to, and just really focus on your breath and making it longer and longer, relaxing into the now, relaxing into your seat. avoid the noise today. Allow the noises that the people and the creatures around you make, instead of allowing those to annoy you. Know that you don't want any abrasive energy whatsoever, and allow those sounds that you hear during meditation to be a cue to bring you more firmly to the present moment and in a more relaxed state there. Oh, one of my points then that brings me to about using cardboard. Man, I don't know about everybody else, but with everything that's going on in the world, it's really hard to focus. And I find myself continually just, all I can do is breathe in and breathe out. And I hope that you all are doing the same. I hope that you are realizing that emotion regulation is the most important thing. And we are not here to create masterpieces. We're here to master peace. That's why we use cardboard. There's my thought I was trying to say. We're not here to create masterpieces. We're here to play and master peace within, and it radiates out. It's a ripple. So today, while we meditate, I'm just going to read to you. Again, if you're just getting here, take some deep breaths. Settle in, breathe out. How I feel matters most. We're meditating now. I care really keenly about how I feel. I care really keenly about how I feel. What I want is my dominant vibration. I am always joyfully moving towards the next dream come true. My inner being, my higher self, offers no resistance. I am in receiving mode. I allow myself to receive this new home that has been being prepared for me. I enjoy the unfolding of my creations. I enjoy the receiving. Satisfaction only exists when I am moving in the direction of my desires. And I am always moving in the direction of my desires. We are always getting closer to it. I am always getting closer to it. How I feel matters most. How you feel matters most. How I feel matters most. How I feel matters most. Breathing in and out matters most. I am the center of my universe. You are the center of your universe. How we feel matters most. How I feel matters most. I love myself, therefore, I take good, loving care of myself at all times, in all moments. I love myself, therefore, how I feel matters most. I am in a state of non-resistance, open to receive. I am here now. I am here now. Present presence. Presence here now. Observer, receiver, believer. I'm open to receive love and abundance in all forms. I see you there now. Open to receive a channel for good. I'm a channel for good. I am a channel for love and abundance. I am a believing mirror. I believe what I see. I believe in me, and I believe in you. I believe in me, and I believe in you. I believe in our prosperity, our possibility, our creativity. I believe we can do the thing, whatever it is. I believe we can do the thing, whatever it is. Teamwork makes the dream work. Collective consciousness, collective dream, on the path, on our way. Welcome to this new day. The birds are waking and singing their songs. One says, drink your tea, drink your tea. Today's Sunday. Recovering a sense of self-protection. Always ever closer to the next miracle we are. I love you. I love you. I love you. Breathing in and out. How I feel matters most. How I feel matters most. So I'm a recovery artist. And moment to moment, I'm recovering from addictions, from trauma. So I'm reaching for the next feel-good thing, the next thing that makes me feel better, the next think. That's it. Sometimes we just breathe and be quiet and wait for the next highest thought. What's it going to be? I am a channel for good. I am a channel for good. Good flows through me to you, and I understand that we are all energy, and we are being aware of the energy that we carry moving forward. We're in the new world that already has begun, yeah? So let's take our cardboard and have some fun. It's always a blank page, always a new beginning, every morning, every time you sleep, and then open your eyes again. You have the opportunity to begin new and however you want to do. So today we're talking about recovering a sense of protection. I grabbed the white, so let's put some white on our palette. Remember, no hurry, no worry. We don't rush our creative selves. Our creative self that has shown up here today to take part in this Creative Companions gathering and enjoy this time together and the creative process. There's no rush. There's no hurry. The nervous system is seeking calm and safety in a sense of protection. So I'm sitting for myself in a space where I feel safe, right at the top of my stairs, with some of my art around me, bright light there behind me, light on my hair, you know. I'm not real interested in what my face looks like today, so, but my point is to be comfortable where you are, to not rush yourself, to just be here now in the present moment, not thinking about what we're going to do later, not even thinking about what we're going to paint on this canvas right now. Grab some yellow. Looking at the color yellow just simply raises your vibration. So squirt out some yellow. Notice how that being in the present moment, fully in the present moment, you hear the sound of the yellow paint as it farts out of the tube. You see the shape it makes. Often I feel like mine look like little birds. I don't know. That looks like a little bird. Let's grab a large brush, whatever large brush you have there. I'm going to get this big one here. And let's put it in some water first. And just for fun, because really we don't have to be nervous. And if you start to feel nervous and you start to think thinks, your sensor starts to talk, or your list maker, try not to think about the things going on in the world all around us. So how, in the face of all this suffering, death, do we still keep playing? Do we still keep singing? Let's put our brush just right, glob on, ladies and gentlemen, some white and some yellow, and just take that and let's just make a circle. Let's just make a circle. Round and round and round it goes. Make a circle. Maybe that circle's just growing. Mine's just going to get bigger and bigger. And you can, don't worry about getting your hands messy. You can wash them later. The paint comes right off. Now, if you have clothes on that you like, you get acrylic paint on. That's not going to wash off. So some parts of that canvas I'm covering, and some parts I'm leaving it kind of thin and sparse. Oh, I put some white here at the bottom. So just let yourself flow in a circular motion for a moment on your canvas, not entertaining any thoughts. Just make it a beautiful circle there. You can add more water if you need to help that paint move around. You can add more white or more yellow, whatever you want to do. All I want you to do is cover your cardboard. You can leave some showing through too, with the white and the yellow without much thought about it, because we don't know where we're going next. All we know is we're doing this right here, now. And remember to keep washing your system with deep breaths. Juicy, to slow you down and help you stay present with your fine self. I laid that down for a second as I am going to read to you a little about what Julia Cameron says about recovering a sense of self-protection. So now I'd like you, while you're practicing the art of flowing on the cardboard there and breathing, to also listen. So when we're clear about who we are and what we're doing, the energy flows freely and we experience no strain. When we resist what that energy might show us or where it must take us, we often experience a shaky, out of control feeling. We want to shut down the flow and regain our sense of control. Every creative person has a myriad of ways to block their creativity. Each of us has one or two particularly toxic to us because they block us so effectively. You know, those are the things we're recovering from. So giving yourself new things to do in that space and time where you were reaching for food or reaching for cigarettes or reaching for alcohol, drugs, work, busy, busy, busy seems to be still one that really nags at me. I'm like, got this voice that's always telling myself, you need forward motion, you got to be productive, go, go, go. So saying no can be the ultimate in self-care, and I actually had opportunities this week to practice that, and I needed a little help from my friends to be able to say no and know that some people are disappointed that I'm not going to be where I said I was going to be, and not feel shame about it and not beat me up about it, because it was in my best interest that I say no. I learned a lot. Yeah. So Creative Companions, the Artist Way, it's helping us to keep an eye, if you will, on ourselves. And what exactly are we up to? What are we thinking? So let's get bold here and get some black paint next. Eye and eye, you know, the all-knowing eye. Look yourself in the mirror. Look your friends in the eye, because they're a mirror for you too, and showing you who you are and what you're up to. You know, Julia Cameron asked us to go back and maybe even read some of our artists or our morning pages, which she had said before, don't do that, and we weren't doing that. We were just writing them and moving on. And as we go back and read them, we found what things are things, you know, that it comes up again and again. Loss of life, I see mine says, floods, fire, shifting, changing, and remembering to sing. Yes, remembering to sing our songs. If creativity is like a burst of the universe breath through the straw that is each of us, we pinch that straw whenever we pick up one of our blocks. We shut down our flow, and we do it on purpose. I'm going to read that again in a second, but first, I want you to grab a flat, medium-sized brush next. I don't know what that bling noise was. And put some black there. And I said I, so let's make the shape of an eye on here next. So an arch, you know. And remember to breathe. To steady your hand so you don't be nervous. Just make that shape. There we go. And then we make the next shape, which is the circle, which we have already indicated with that yellow. And round we go. Look at that, how quickly it becomes a thing. And just take your time. No hurry, no worry. Breathing in and out. I am safe in this now. We are creating a sense of and recovering a sense of self-protection, of taking care of the self. I'll give you a moment to make that shape while I read to you some more. The object of blocking our creative selves is to alleviate fear. We're trying to not be afraid. So we turn to our drug of choice to block our creativity whenever we experience the anxiety of our inner emptiness. It's always fear, often disguised, but always there, that leads us into grabbing for the block. And what if you used the urge to grab for the block, the cigarette, the alcohol, the food, the phone, instead, I'm going to pick up my phone right now because I'm feeling a feeling kind of way. Instead of picking up the phone, I'm going to pick up the paintbrush. That's going to be the new thing. I'm going to pick up the paintbrush instead. Or I'm going to go for a walk instead. Or I'm going to take a deep breath instead. Or I'm going to do something different though. Instead of taking a creative U-turn, which is what she talks about next, where we just give up on it. We surrender. We think we're surrendering, but what we're actually doing is just giving up on that thing. The self-honesty lurking in us always knows when we're choosing against our greater good. So, isn't that weird? Isn't that weird, you all, how it is that, like, we realize at some point in our lives that it's harder to do things that are good for us than it is to do things that we know are not good for us? It takes grace and courage to admit and surrender that, we've been using these things to block us from our good, from ourselves, from our... There, make that shape like the moon. See that? That's the iris of the eye. So you're going to fill that part in with black. No, we're not seeking perfection. How's your heart rate right now? Take a deep breath. Emotion regulation and how we feel moment to moment is of the utmost importance. We can give ourselves a heart attack. We can break our own hearts with the thoughts that we think. Learning to breathe into ourselves, get over busyness and addiction, and our need to take creative U-turns when our path is always calling to us that thing, that we know we came here to do. Here's a good one. Anxiety, use it as fuel. Anxiety and excitement feel the same in the body, but it's what we think about them that then changes that feeling. So when I feel anxiety, I'm scared to do the thing, and then I have another thought, another scary thought, I tense up, But if I say, I'm excited, I get to do the thing, that energy feels better. We're just playing with ourselves here. We're just playing with our energy, So okay, calm down, Kim. So excitement and anxiety feel the same way in the body. So you can trick yourself into feeling better. I said that to someone yesterday, or whatever day that was. What if I think myself well? What if I think myself well? What if I do believe in the good things coming? What a fun experiment, right? So you can just keep tracing that. How do you make a perfect circle? Well, you go around it again and again. You hold it back. And it's not perfect, but it's getting rounder. You hold it back and look at it and go, well, it looks a little flat on that side. So I'll put a little more paint on that side. You see? So what color eyes do you have? Have you looked yourself in the eyes lately? Have you really looked in the mirror? Mirror, mirror on the wall. You're the fairest of them all. You got to look in to see. You got to look in. Pyro Joe said something really good about that today. That's how he saw what it was that was affecting his health negatively that he needed to address? What is the thing that you need to address, right? So anyway, what color are your eyes? Mine are brown. So therefore, I'm going to grab some brown paints. And we have white and black still on the palette. Get a little brown, or I'm sorry, get whatever color your eyes are. I'm going to also get a little gold. If I have some, I know I did. I have some gold paint. So get a little gold or silver if you've got it. If not, that's okay. Get 2 tones of the color of your eyes, 2 blues or 2 greens, maybe some white too. Take some deep breaths. Clean that flat brush you were using. Let's get all the black paint off of it. Swish it around in the water. Wipe it off on your... I'll lay my painting down. How you doing, guys? Take some deep breaths. Get that brush nice and clean, because we're going to add color to your beautiful eyes, okay? All right. So workaholism is an addiction, and like all addictions, it blocks creative energy. In fact, it could be argued that the desire to block the fierce flow of creative energy is an underlying reason for addiction. Oh boy, did you hear that? It could be said that the desire to block the fierce flow of creative energy that is running through you is the underlying reason for addiction. If you're too busy to write the morning pages or too busy to take the artist date, then you're probably too busy to hear the voice of authentic creative urges speaking from within your depths. So to return to the concept of a radio station, the workaholic jams the signals with self-induced static. This is where play comes in. The truth is, we are very often working to avoid ourselves, our spouses, our roommates, our true feelings, our chores, our art. We're trying to avoid something. Avoid the noise, avoid avoiding. Let's get to it. What color are your eyes? Brown. Mine are brown. So I'm going to take the brown paint, and I'm going to put a little brown, and I'm going to put a little white on my brush, and I'm going to start at the iris and go out. And I hope I said the right word, and if I didn't, please forgive me. But from there out like that. You see what I'm doing? You can make darker ones. And just take your time. No hurry, no worry. Just go around. I'm letting some of the yellow show through right now and dragging those lines all the way to the edge of the black, black to black. Just keep going around and making those marks. Make your mark, guys. Expression is the cure for depression. Depression comes on because you're not expressing. Depression is the lack of expression. You're holding it in. You're holding it in. Oh, I wanted to say, make sure I said today, make sure you move. Movement's important. Breathe while you move. Take deep breaths. You can pause at any moment in whatever you're doing. If you feel the energy suddenly start to get tight, the anxiety suddenly start to build, you feel it when it happens, address it, be aware. Breathe in and move. And anxiety be gone. Away it went. The truth is, we're very often working to avoid ourselves. In a creative recovery, it's far easier to get people to do the extra work of the morning pages than it is to get them to do the assigned play of an artist date. Play can make an alcoholic, that's not what it says, but an alcoholic, a workaholic. Play can make you feel really nervous. What if they're watching? What if they see me playing? Then they'll know. They'll know I'm not doing the responsible thing right now. And we've been programmed to think that you must always be doing the responsible thing, right? Wrong. That's just programming. People say if I had more time, I'd have more fun. We like to tell ourselves. Ask yourself, how much time do you allot each week simply to having a good time, to having fun? I know I've been being way too serious with myself. Way too serious. Expecting myself to know exactly what to do next all the time, to have the right answers. You know, I'm going to go with the gold now. I'm going to go around here again with the gold. It doesn't show up real bright in this light, but you know, I said at the beginning of this, I have myself sitting in my little hole here, and I realize the light is not good. Wait till at the end of this, though. I'll turn it around and put good light on me and my art, and you'll see how beautiful we really are. Because, you know, we're disco balls, baby, and it's just the light we're in. You know? You may see me at different points in different lights and think me a certain way, but I'm just a work in progress, and so are you. And I'm not a guru. I'm not a shaman. I'm just me. I'm just a creative being like you, here in the flow. For most I'm reading now to you. For most block creatives, fun is something they avoid almost as much as their creativity. Why? Fun leads to creativity. It leads to rebellion. It leads to feeling your own power. So she asked us to answer some questions about how our work habits, you know. I'm not going to talk about it all right now, but it's there in the book if you want to. So Cesar Chavez says, when we are really honest with ourselves, we must admit our lives are all that really belong to us. So it is how we use our lives that determines the kind of men and women that we are. What are we doing with our time? There's a good question to ask. What are we doing? I want to see if I can find a different tone brown here. Right away I did. Let me get another brown and go around there again with a darker brown. So, see, it's taking shape. I am taking shape. A work in progress, you know, recovering a sense of self-protection. So I can protect myself by saying no, by listening to that inner voice and being totally honest with myself. When we do that, man, those artist pages, those morning pages really help us be more honest with ourselves. So in striving to clear the way for a more creative flow, we must look at our work habits very clearly. In any creative life, there's dry seasons, you know. Life loses its sweetness sometimes, and our work feels mechanical, empty, forced. We feel we have nothing to say, and we're tempted to say nothing. These are the times when the morning pages are most difficult and most valuable. So last week on the live feed, I felt like phony because I'm talking about positivity and remaining positive and taking care of yourself when the world's falling apart, the planet's dying, the news is terrible, like people are sick, so many people have Lyme's disease, like what is going on? But if I get stuck in all that there's not anything I can do about, it's not serving me well, now I don't feel good too, and now I'm no good to anyone. And there are big things I want to do, and I can't get to them because then I get wrapped up in these thoughts. So I look for things that I could do, and one of them is my live feed. And I know some people would just watch to make fun of me. And that's something we need to learn not to do to one another, isn't it? If we can't help them, don't hurt them. If you're talking about them, you should be talking to them. And if you're not willing to talk to them, don't talk about them. You know? So droughts do end. Let's take some white paint. If you don't have any clean white paint there on your palette, get a clean blob of white and a different brush that you haven't used yet. I just grabbed a rounded one. I'm going to fill in this space. Actually, I want a bigger brush than that. I'm going to go back to that flat brush that we've been using and clean it real good before I use it on the white. And we're going to use it on the white and fill in what would be the white of the eye with the white now. So that would be carefully starting here. It's okay if you cover up the black a little, if you feel like you covered it too much, you can go back. Just make that area white. Oops, I'm not holding it high enough. We're just making this area white now. I'm using my brush to go in the same curved shape of the eyeball there. Let's go on this side now. Same thing. Just fill those spaces in. It's 3 spaces here we're going to fill in. 1, 2, and then this circle here. Let's make that white. That's the catch light in the eye. That's the light in your eyes that makes you real. You ever notice, I don't know how much you look at yourself in the mirror, but man, on my dark days, my eyes look dull. And on my bright days, my eyes are sparkling, you know. So that catch light in the eye helps make it look real and more sparkly. We can also put a little white, I just put a little white smear there at the bottom. I'm going to give you time to do that while I read you some more. So keep writing your morning pages. A drought, a time of lacking creativity, feeling lackluster is a time of doubt. Vern and I also call it the mean time. It feels kind of mean. You feel like you're in between things. We've lost faith, you know, in our creative selves. It's a time for gentleness. Keep writing the morning pages. It's a time of grief, in between dreams. You know, it hurts. It can be long and airless season, doubting ourselves, doubting where we're going. Droughts and doubts do end. We come to a place of clarity. We begin to write things as we write in our journals. An insight will come. You'll find your way out of the wilderness. You'll find the next creative project to do. You'll find the next song to sing and say. Meister Eckhart says, truly, it is in the darkness that one finds the light. So when we're in sorrow, then this light is nearest to all of us. And you can feel really good about yourself and that you're protecting yourself when you realize that, oh, I am one of the beings nearer to the light. I've experienced much sadness and grief, you know? So the point of living a life is living a life. She talks about fame in the next part, which I'm going to kind of skip over because what is that even, fame, you know? Trying to be somebody creates a feeling of lack. We're all somebody. Everybody's somebody, you know? You're all somebody. And seeking those numbers on social media and all of that and watching all of that is messing us up a little bit. Only when we are being joyfully creative can we release all those obsessions with others and how they are doing and what they are doing. Thank you, Zachary Lowe. And yeah, you know, that's what I came here to do. I'm speaking. I'm a channel for good. I'm a channel for good, and I'm glad you tuned in. So, where'd my painting go? So we've gotten this far. Look at that. Look how far we've come. Right? So eye and eye. We've created an eye. And perhaps we want to go back to the black here a little. And this is the top. Let's see. Let me look at it a minute. I'm going to give it a little eyelashes. Going off the page, overflowing. You know, in recovering a sense of self-protection, I have learned through my PTSD and not being in the present moment that we are only safe when we are here now with ourselves. So learning to be alive, alert, and aware in the present moment. Breathing to help your fine self settle down, slow down, and feel safe here now. If you can feel safe here now, maybe you can feel safe in the next now, and the next now. And then you're going to notice when you don't feel safe, when that energy shifts. You can bring awareness to it. Competition. She wants us to talk about competition, another spiritual drug. When we focus on competition, we poison our own well and we impede our progress. The same good that I wish for myself, I wish for all. If we all could master peace, then we would have world peace now, wouldn't we? If we all would stop thinking that we are the masterpiece, we are the one, and we're all the ones. We're all the ones. We're all channels for good if we want to be. And we're not in competition with anyone. That which I do, which is good for me, is good for you. When I polish my mirror, it makes me shiny, it makes you shiny too. So polish your mirrors and use your voice. And get away from competition. Competition lies at the root of what blocks your creativity. As artists, we must go within and deal with ourselves. We must attend to what our inner guidance is nudging us towards. We cannot afford to worry about what is in or out, what is popular and what is not. If it's too early or too late to do this work, the time is now. And it's not to do better than. It's to feel joyful in this now and create something new. Let us concern ourselves first and foremost with what is within us that is struggling to be born, that wants to come out. What do you want to say today? This is your now. This is your day. This is you. When we compete with others, when we focus our creative concerns on the marketplace and whether that work is selling or not, what we are really jostling with other artists in a creative foot race, well, this is the sprint mentality. This wears us out. Whenever you're angered about someone else beating you out, remember this. The foot race mentality is always the ego's demand to be not just good, but also be first and best. Be right. We are the origin of our art. We are our art's homeland. Originality is the process of remaining true to ourselves. Even though we're painting the same painting today and we both put an eyeball on a yellow background, we're going to do something different. In the end, it's going to look different. Yours isn't going to look like mine, and mine isn't going to look like yours. We're inspired by one another, not copying one another. Inspired. Be inspired by your friends doing well. So next she says, never ever judge a fledgling piece of work too quickly. Be willing to paint or write badly while your ego yelped resistance. You don't have to show anybody, I'm saying that. Your bad writing, your bad painting may be the syntactical breakdown necessary for a shift in your style. It may be pointing you in a new direction. Everything we learn from the wreck. I said that for specifically for you, Jamie, if you're listening. There's knowledge in everything. Are you still breathing? Take some deep breaths. I'm going to tell you what else to do with your brush here in a second. Art needs time to incubate, to sprawl a little, to be ungainly and misshapen, and finally emerge as itself. The ego hates this fact. The ego wants instant gratification and the addictive hit of an acknowledged win. The need to win now is a need to win approval from others. As an antidote, we must learn to approve of ourselves. Showing up for the work is the win that matters. Showing up to do the thing is the win that matters. I am grateful for another opportunity to create my art. I personally am going to use this fine day and my creative energy to continually create something new and beautiful and meaningful. Edgar Degas says, only when he no longer knows what he is doing does the painter do good things. So what I'd like to do now is show yourself carefree in the center of this eye, the center of your universe, the center of attention. Carefree for me is going to be on a swing. So I'm making a swing here. a line straight down, another line straight down, and let's put the seat way down here and attach the ropes. So there's my swing. Let's make sure my ropes show good. They could look like braids or strands of DNA, however you want to do that. I did mine like that. Breathe in and out. He who knows himself is enlightened. I will tell you what I have learned myself. For me, a long 5 or 6 mile walk helps, and one must go alone in every day. That's what Brenda Guland says. So back to where we started. How do we recover a sense of safety for ourselves? How do we recover a sense of self-protection? Knowing we do that by making good choices and making how we feel the most important thing. How we feel. You know, when you do something not honest, when you do something shitty, you feel shitty. So stop doing shitty things. When you're phony, you feel phony. Do you like feeling phony? Nah, then stop doing phony things. Be real with your fine self. You know, if you've been doing the morning pages, I think you have found. So I'm drawing little me on the swing now. With my arms in the air, holding onto the ropes, and gave myself a little head. Ha ha! That's what she said. I heard that. And then the body. You can put boobs if you got boobs. Paint them. You know, there is no right or wrong. There are no bad words. And the feet in the air. So, oh, my foot went to sleep. When we're meditating or doing yoga and our foot goes to sleep, what do? We move. We take a deep breath and we move so we're comfortable. When I care about myself and how I feel, I am comfortable in the present moment. If I become uncomfortable, well, I move on to the next thing. We're flow arts. We can't expect to stay comfortable right here in this spot forever and ever. Change is going to come. You know? So now you can take your time creating your character here. Safe in the center of the eye. You can use whatever colors you want at this point. You know, I like to use all the colors in my paintings, in my meditations, in my healing arts. I grabbed purple next. As I think we have a chakra system made up of all the colors, and using all the colors, addressing all the colors in our art feels so good. And also, you know, just, I don't know. There. What did they say about when you suddenly don't know what you're saying? Yeah. Simply breathe. Be here now. How's your heart feel? Speaking of which, I'm trying to find what page I was on. Give me a second. So let's not judge each other. Let's not judge our art, our young fledgling art. Let's remember, I have a quote here for you. So I quit smoking using this Creative Companions group and The Artist Way. She's continually asking us to just tell ourselves the truth and making it a habit of telling ourselves the truth. So here's a quote from Piero Ferrucci. How often, even before we began, have we declared a task impossible? And how often have we construed a picture of ourselves as being inadequate? A great deal depends upon the thought patterns we choose and on the persistence with which we affirm them. A great deal depends upon the thought patterns we choose and the persistence on which we affirm them. And I had written something that I wanted to read. I was going to use that purple to make a heart inside myself on my swing here. Once again, my light shines on others' darkness and it's revealed. That's something I wrote in my journal today. I can feel the energy. I will not pretend that I don't. I'm always just trying to find what feels good and safe, harm none, tell the truth, be here now. Okay, I'm going to make a purple heart air in my center. And let's get some red paint now too. So I made a big purple heart there. I'm going to go trace it with the white. By the way, I got a really tiny brush now to add some details. And this is a time where you really want to just hold your canvas close to you. Make your beautiful heart there in the center. Take your time. When you get down to using these teeny tiny brushes, and you want to make the mark you want to make just so precise, is you have to take deep breaths. I wrote in my journal at the end today, God help us all. Maybe we find that peaceful feeling within and share it with others. It radiates out, you know. Really do be believing mirrors for one another. Build your people up. Celebrate the small victories. So recovering a sense of self-protection. I'm going to give myself a red cape because that makes me feel safe if I feel like I have my cape on. And sometimes I feel like my cape, my imaginary cape, is an invisibility cape, and when I wear it, you all can't see me. But I'm trying to give up on that urge to hide and allow ourselves to be seen in our wonderful glory with cape and all. Right? So artist dates, I still continue to struggle. I can't say that I took an artist date. I did borrow Aubrey's car and did some errands this week. The struggle's real, you guys, with the mental health. I do so appreciate the love and support that I receive on social media. I know I bitch about the phone a lot, but it is my current addiction, affliction, you know, is the scrolling. And, but I do appreciate the loving support that I receive on social media. Let me try to show you. I'm going to change my camera angle here in a second so that my lighting is better so you can see what I've done. You know, and this character that you're creating here in the middle that indicates you, however you do that, he feels safe and free on this swing and being seen right there in the center of the eye, because even when we feel like we're wearing our invisibility cloaks, we're not invisible, guys. People can see us. Oftentimes people can see right through us, you know, when we're kind of lying to ourselves and missing the thing and not keeping ourselves safe, because we're wrapped up in worry, or we're just simply not here now. In order to be fully safe, we need to be alive, alert, and aware now. Then you can see what's going on around you. Then you can feel what's going on around you. Then you can hear what's going on around you. And only when all our senses are engaged are we really fully present. So I wonder how often you think about that. How often do you just sit with your fine self and breathe? Feel what it feels like to be here now. And then when you change spaces, you know, you go in your car and you go to somewhere else. What does that now feel like? You know? Or did you get nervous because you switched nows because you went to another place and felt like you had to be a different way? What if we could just leave the masks off and always be okay with how we feel and where we are? And look each other in the eye and be thankful that right now we don't feel like we're going to cry. So I'm just adding some details here. I told you I'd change the camera angle so that the lighting suddenly becomes better and you can see. Oh, let me unplug this. Already, look at that. I'm going to hide over here in the dark. And here's what we've been working on. And I'm just going to continue to add all the colors to her. You know, you might put a shield around your heart if you feel you need to, or if that's where you're at in your personal journey right now, and you feel like you really need to do some extra protection, then paint a shield around your heart. Write your own name in it. You know, take your time, use the little brushes. When you feel complete with your artwork today, recovering a sense of self-protection, feeling safe, being seen. Here I am again. I love you guys. I appreciate you being here with me. I appreciate knowing that I have so many creative companions in the world. You know, I do believe in you. I believe in our creative expression, our creative process. I'm going to wrap this up on my own and close the live feed here in just a second. She talks a lot about making boundaries, you know, for yourself. Like for me, when I'm dealing with my scrolling thing, don't turn your phone on, Kim, first thing in the morning. Do your morning pages first. Do your mark meditation first before you scroll on Facebook. Because we take on other people's energy, and we really want to focus on staying in our own so that we can be an authentic voice, an authentic light shining, you know. Treating myself as a precious object makes it so. So in treating myself as a precious object this last week, I had to say no a couple times, and I had to say, I'm putting me first and I need rest. Rest is best. Right now. You know, I'll be back out there playing again, and don't take it personally. So take some walks, drink some water, write your journals. Next week was my favorite, week 11. 2 ones, autonomous ones together. And we'll be talking about recovering a sense of autonomy. If you don't know what autonomy is, well, it's a deeply felt personal endorsement of yourself. Self-governing, independent in one's thoughts and actions. We think and feel and make decisions on our own. So, I love you so much. When I finish my painting, I will post it. I would love it if you would post yours as well. Share with your friends. This video will be on the YouTube channel, Art by Kim Keffer, after, as well as the Creative Companions page, and I don't know, wherever it goes here on Facebook, but, you know, watch it anytime and join in and feel safe, okay? Okay. How you feel really matters. Love you so much. Yeah. Peace out.